word parts. Okay, anybody in our class know anything about word parts? Like in a single English word, how many parts it has? Anybody know anything? Word parts. Colin, go ahead.
So there is the verb, the noun, and adjective.
Oh, interesting. We have verb, we have nouns, we have adjective. But one more thing, are they the word parts? Are they called word parts or they're called something else? Okay, have you ever heard a name called parts of speech, guys? Anybody heard of parts of speech? Parts of speech meaning the property of a word, like a noun, verb, adjective, or maybe like adverbs or conjunctions and whatsoever, right? So many parts of speech. These are the parts of speech, okay? But we're talking about word parts. Word parts means every word, almost every word in English, okay, can be broken down into smaller parts. For example, here we are. Anybody heard of prefix? Prefix in a word? Yes, okay. And root? Maybe this is more common, right? A root or roots, some common roots in a word. And then we have suffix. These are the three common word parts in all the English words. Okay, prefix, root, and suffix. I'm throwing you some terminologies. Now, could you tell me in your mind, what is called a prefix? What is called a suffix? You can give me some examples if you want, or you can type in the chat. Okay, anybody want to share something about prefix, root, or suffix? Jenna?
So prefix is like something you add in front of like a base word. For example, like reread. Like read is like the road or like the main word. And the prefix is like re, which is like something that's like add like before the main word.
Good. So in reread, the re part is the prefix, right? Like before the major word. And what does re mean? Re mean?
It's like do something against. Like
yes, okay. Exactly. So reread means you read again, right? One more time. Okay, very good. Okay, that's a really great prefix, re, and it's really common. Review, revise. Okay, so many words containing re means again or maybe back. Okay, so that's prefix because pre, guys, in prefix, that's very funny. Pre is the prefix in prefix. Okay, pre means before. Means before. So here you can take some notes. Prefix refers to the few letters at the beginning of a word. Okay, a group of letters. This is off, not okay. A group of letters that come at the beginning of a word. The first two, or sometimes the first three, or even the first four letters is called a prefix, and they contain a basic meaning. For example, a very common one, UN. UN, what does it mean? N. UN, N. Positive or negative? Is good or bad?
negative.
Negative. Okay, N means not, right? In most of the words, UN means not. So this is a prefix, very common one. Okay, and the other examples can be, let's say, COM, 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 or CON, con. That's very common, right? So many words. If you check the dictionary, they're going to give you hundreds of words starting with COM or CON. That is positive, okay, or neutral, means together, is coming together or with. So that's the meaning for calm, like compassion, like company, keep you company, okay? Like the other was commitment, so it means together. Okay, so this is the first thing we learned today, prefix, the first few letters in a word. The second thing is called root, okay? Root, so what is a root? Root refers to the middle part of a word, the middle part of the word, and that's usually the basic part, and that's the major component of a word. Some of the vocabulary, they don't have a prefix. They just have a root. Or maybe they have a root plus a suffix. Okay, then a root part is the basic meaning that contains most of the meaning of the word. Okay, The last one is called a suffix. We have the beginning, we have the middle. Now we left only one part, which is the ending. So that's the suffix. Suffix is the little tail of the word, okay? The last few letters is called a suffix. All right, so that's the terminology, that's the name for the three different concepts. But why we have to learn that? There's a meaning, okay? There's a purpose. The purpose is if you know the prefix, if you know the root, even though you have no idea what is this word, you never see this word before, you can guess. You can guess the meaning, okay? And you're most likely gonna guess like 80% correct or 99% correct even. Okay, so remember guys, all of you, the prefix and the root, the first two, okay, they can tell you the meaning of the word. And the last one, the suffix, what the suffix can tell us, they can tell us the parts of speech. In most cases, they can tell us the parts of speech. Is that a noun? Is that a like verb? Is it an adjective? For example, if the word ending with something tif, do you think it's a noun or a verb or adjective or a verb maybe? Anybody want to take a try? William, do you want to take a try? Any word ending with tiv, is that a noun or verb or adjective? Will? Sorry, is that what? Verb?
Yeah.
Okay, how about I give you a word, okay? Like easy one. Active. Is that a verb or adjective? Active. Someone's pretty okay, it's adjective. It is an adjective. By the way, adjective is ending with tive, okay? So tive, this is called a suffix, the ending part of a word. They can tell you the parts of speech, and this usually is an adjective. Tive is an adjective. Okay, in our today's class, lesson number 1, I'm going to show you a lot of suffixes, but only in one, the same parts of speech, nouns. Okay, so we're going to learn from the nouns, start from the nouns, and not all the nouns, because we know nouns are a very big family. There are so many nouns in the noun families, right? So let's start, okay, from the first thing, that is, let me give you some words and let's trying to break it down into smaller parts. Prefix, suffix, and root. Okay, the first example is unchangeable. So almost everybody give me the prefix, that is un means and, means not. And the root is change, right? Okay, no problem. This is the middle one, this is root, which means the last part, this is the suffix. Oh, okay, suffix. And you must learn some other words ending with able. So Jenna, able is adjective or a noun or verb ending.
I think it's a verb ending.
It's a verb. Okay, and Jenna, what is a verb? What is a
Pardon?
verb?
A verb
What is a verb? What is a verb?
is like an action.
Right. Okay, so verb is an action. And Jenna, what is adjective?
Adjective is a word that can describe a noun.
That's correct. Okay, we're trying to describe something. Okay, describe a noun. And a noun means that could be a thing, a stuff, right? A person or idea or feeling, okay, or object. That's called a noun. Okay, so unchangeable. The ending is able. If the ending part is able, okay, remember, Jenna, this is not a verb. Most likely, this is adjective because they're trying to describe something able to do something. Okay, so we cannot say like he unchangeable me, right? So unchangeable is not a verb because it's not an action. This is an adjective. Okay, so after unchangeable, you can add a noun after it. So this is adjective. And then we can combine them together. Not, change, able. So the meaning for unchangeable is not able to change. You can flip the order of the words. Okay, not able to change. That's the meaning for unchangeable. Okay, this is, I know it's a very simple example to know. Everybody know the meaning for unchangeable, but how about this one? We're going to use the same method, okay, same logic to break it down into 3 or even 4 parts. You can unmute yourself, Colin. What does IN mean?
It means, well, in like inside.
That's partially right. Okay, some of the words in means inside or into. Yes, okay. But how about like indifferent? Well, that's a tricky one. Or independent.
No.
Means no, right? Means not. Okay, good. So IN in more than half of the cases, okay, means not. In some of the words means into. That's correct, but this one is not. And the ending part, it's able. Okay, so you can find able as the suffix. You're right. Able means able. That's the same thing with the previous word. The previous is unchangeable. They're the same thing. Okay, able, same stuff. Okay, so the middle part is a little bit longer, right? So we can actually break it down further. Controversy. So in controversy, the part is right here. One part is contra. The other part is vert. V-E-R-T. Vert. You ever heard a word called revert or convert or subvert? Okay, so vert, V-E-R-T. Take down the notes, please. It means to turn. To turn, okay, to change. That's the meaning for turn or revert, V-E-R-T, turn. Contra, anybody heard of a word called controversy or contrary or contradictory, right? Contra. Sometimes it's T-R-A or T-R-O, so contra means against. It's like a preposition, okay, it's against. So it's a little bit negative, okay, like 2 things, they're in contrast, contradictory, okay. So incontrovertible, we have not, we have against, we have turn, and able. Could you guys like turn the order, like change the order a little bit and make the whole thing into a definition of incontrovertible? Because not against the turn, able is not like meaning, right? So let's change the order a little bit. What does it mean by incontrovertible? Anyone? Elena? Go ahead.
Maybe like not able to turn against.
Bravo. Okay, that's correct. That's perfect. Not able to turn against. Okay, now think with me. What does it mean by not able to turn against? If there's a theory, the theory is incontrovertible, meaning the theory cannot be not able to be turned against, which means the theory is correct or incorrect. Which one? Not able to turn against means it's correct, it's good, or it's incorrect, it's bad. Which one? You can give me a sign, okay? It's good or bad? Incontrovertible. Not able to turn against. You cannot against it. You cannot say no, which means it is positive. Okay, guys, it is positive. Even though it has IN, not in the beginning, the word is actually a positive word. It means something is definitely correct. Something cannot be argued with. Okay, something is definitely right, and you have to support it. It's called incontrovertible. Okay, so that's how we learn the word, okay, especially for a very long word with so many letters. That's actually a great news for all of us, because the more letters they have, the more easier for us to break it down, okay? You know, what is the nightmare in the vocab world? The small words, only 2 letters or 3 letters. That's a big nightmare because it's unable to break them down. Okay, for example, have you ever learned a word called M-A-R? Mar. Not Mars, not March, not Mary, just Mar, M-A-R. What is M-A-R? Mar, right? If you read something before, you may have heard of or read of Mar before, okay? But Mar, that's a hard word to remember. Mar means to destroy, to ruin. Okay, there's a very simple way to remember more. For the smaller words, for the short words, we have a different way to remember, okay? You can just imagine, you can flip this M, flip it, okay, to turn it into a W. See how similar they look, right? M and W. So mar is closer to war, and war is bad. If there's a war, maybe there's a lot of like destruction and you know, desolate place, okay, a lot of like ruins, right? So mar as a verb, this is a verb, okay, means to destroy, means to ruin. That is the meaning for mar. Okay, going back to incontrovertible. What I mean is, whenever you see a very long word that is not scary, okay, that's a great opportunity for us to try to guess the meaning from the little parts. Okay, the longer, the better. All right, so that's the second example, incontrovertible. Remember that means something is unable to turn against, means something is definitely correct. Okay, number 3, the last one, metamorphosis. Still, I'll give you a few seconds, okay? Try to break it down by yourself. Metamorphosis, what does it mean? Metamorphosis. Anybody heard of this word in a science class? Like biology, maybe? Okay, Colin heard of that, or Janet heard of that. Okay, metamorphosis. Maybe in some, I don't know, biology class, maybe you're learning about butterfly, bugs, worms, kind of stuff. Metamorphosis, okay. Like how to break it down, right? Try to find the smaller parts that you've seen in the other words. They're repetitive, okay? For example, if you see like the other words containing osis, maybe that is a suffix. For example, there's a word called symbiosis. Osis, which means this part is a suffix, okay? It's independent. Okay, so I've seen in the chat, some of you break it down into faux. That's pretty cute, okay? It's not faux, okay? It's not a food. So O is going with S-I-S, osis. And the answer for this word is meta. That's a part. Morph, that's the middle part. And osis, that's the last part. Okay, good job, Jocelyn. Okay, very good. Meta, morph, and osis. Osis meaning the process of something. Okay, you can take it down. The process of something like changing or something like turned from A to B is called a process. And morph or meta. Well, number one, meta means change. You know, there's a company called Meta, right? Like Facebook, Twitter, I think, belongs to Meta. So Meta is the mother company of Instagram. Meta is meaning change. And morph, the middle part, in some of the words, morph also means change, but the original meaning for morph is shape. Okay, so if you combine them together, metamorphosis means, well, could you combine them together and tell me what is the meaning for metamorphosis?
Shape change process.
We did the change shape process. Yeah, we just need to like combine them into a sentence, right? Like the process, maybe the process of changing shape. So that is called metamorphosis. Okay, the whole process, the whole procedure of changing shape from, for example, a little caterpillar. Okay, from a little caterpillar into a butterfly. So this whole process is called metamorphosis. Okay, so that's another example to show you, if you know the common prefix or suffix or roots, you actually can learn much more words than your imagination, okay? And you can improve your efficiency. All right, so that is the goal. That is the target for our class. In our whole class within these 15 sessions, I'm going to give you numerous prefix, suffix, and roots, and the other important knowledge to learn a vocab. Okay, so today is the chapter number 1. So we're gonna start from people. Okay, interesting people, not boring people. We're gonna start from some interesting people nouns. Okay, and also because we learned parts of speech, right? We know like there are so many different kind of parts of speech. We're going to start from nouns today. Okay, nouns. So we have learned, right? Nouns means they could be like people, they could be like things, objects, something you can touch, like water bottle, that's a noun. Bottle is a noun. Book is a noun, right? And they can be like ideas, something you cannot touch, but it's a concept, like freedom. Freedom is also a noun, it's a thing, okay? And also we have places, like theater, like museum, like laboratory, like they're all places nouns, okay? So there's so many different kinds of nouns, and we're gonna start from the first one, people noun. People noun, okay. Jocelyn, can you answer me one question, very simple question, Jocelyn? Do you remember from the prefix, suffix, and root, which part can we tell this is a noun? Prefix, suffix, or root, which part we can know this is a noun?
Root.
The middle part?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll give you a second chance. From the prefix or the suffix, we can know this is a noun, the parts of speech. You think it's the prefix or the suffix? For example, okay, let me give you one example, like scientist. You know, scientist is a person, right? Someone who studies science, okay? From which part do you know this is a person? This is not a subject. Not because of science, right? It's because of these parts, IST. And IST is the little tail of the word, the ending part. And the ending part is something we call suffix. Okay, so we can keep this one in the notes. From the suffix, guys, from the ending few letters, the last 2, 3, or 4 letters, you can know this is a person now or people now. Yes, Jenna, thank you. The ending with ER can also represent for person. Yes, so I'm going to show you some other suffixes, okay, that can tell you this is a person. Let's start from the first one, AN. A word is like ending with A and not starting with, okay, ending with AN. Which word ending with AN? The first example, Republican. Republican. Okay, because republic, that's a word. Okay, very political word, right? So Republican with republic with AN as the ending, that is a person. Okay, this is a noun. Republican refers to someone who supports the republic side of the politics. Okay, so this is a person now. Example, AN. So whenever you see a new word, you have no idea what is the word, but you see, okay, the ending is AN, you can guess this is a person. Okay, someone who supports the beginning part, these parts. That's a person. Second example, this is a tricky word, okay? Cover it like right here. This is called charlatan, not charlatan. Okay, be careful. This is called charlatan. Charlatan, okay? Really looks similar to a name or Charles. We have no Charles in our class. Okay, I have some students before named Charles or Charlie. Okay, so char or charlatan. This is another people noun. Now, guys, let's do a game, okay? Can you give me a little sign in the chat to guess, do you think charlatan or charlatan is a good word or a bad word? Just give me a sign. It's thumbs up or thumb down. It's good or bad. Okay, so just give me up, thumb up. Anybody else? Good. Okay, will give me up. Jenna, give me up. Why it's good? Who's the first one? Jenna, why it's good?
I don't know, because it ends with an AN at the end.
Okay, but AN only telling you they're supporting something. Maybe they're supporting something bad, something evil, and they're bad guys, right? Okay, I know because Charlie or Charles, and especially Charles, that's the king's name, right? Sounds like positive, but actually, guys, this is negative. This is a bad guy. Okay, charlatan. What is a charlatan? Take it down. Charlatan is a liar. This is a big liar, okay? They're always trying to trick you, to deceive you with their lies, with their false claims, okay? So be very careful of charlatans. and they're usually very well spoken. They're good at talking. So that's why they persuade you to believe something that is wrong, that's fake. Okay, that's impossible. So a charlatan, it's a big fraud. That's a liar. Okay, you can simply remember, like trying to imagine there's a very bad guy. There's a like a fake prince named Charles who wants to be the king. Okay, but he's like the deceiving part of it is the fraud. So in this like funny way, you can remember, okay, charlatan is a bad guy, it's a liar. And this is the plural form for charlatan. Okay, and also this is pretty like a literature word. We don't use the word in a daily language. Maybe you read some books, some novels, you're gonna read the word, or some movies, maybe they're gonna use the word charlatan, okay, but not in the daily communication. So it's pretty like a fancy word for calling a liar, charlatan. Okay, negative. In the future, I'm gonna use the negative sign to show the word is negative like this. Okay, and positive gonna be a plus, and this one is gonna be neutral. Okay, a slash means like the thing is in the middle. It's not very good, it's not very bad, it's just in the middle of the spectrum. Okay, so we have negative, positive, and neutral. This is negative, charlatan. Okay, on this page, just remember an, people, noun, suffix. If you can remember that and these two examples, that's enough. We can move on. Okay. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, just feel free to interrupt me, okay? Raise up your hand and you can interrupt me, okay? Let's move to the third example, partisan. Partisan. Still, partisan, right? Sounds like party with san or an. That's a person. A person who supports what party? So is partisan a party animal? Or someone who like to be in a party? A partisan. Still, this time, can you please guess? It's good, bad, or in the middle? Neutral. Which one? It's a pure guess. Okay, random guess. Don't worry, there's no penalty. Partisan. Good, bad, neutral. Okay, good, right? You're so kind, guys. Okay, all of you give me sum up. Okay, Alina give me a negative. Okay, partisan. Anybody know what is the other meaning for party? P-A-R-T-Y. Besides, birthday party. What is the other meaning for party? Anybody else? Like, you can just unmute yourself, okay? You have to raise up your hand.
Celebration.
Good?
Celebration.
Celebration. But still, like that's pretty close to party, right? Because why we throw a party? Because we want to celebrate something together. Okay, so P-A-R-T-Y. The word, besides the meaning for party, okay, it's a political group. Okay, like Democratic Party, like Republic Party. Okay, party, it's a political group. It's not really like a party like with music and food and snacks. Okay, it's a very political meaning with party. So a partisan means a person who support a side of the political party or big supporter of a political party. That's called party. Okay, so it's an organization. It's an organization in of people with particular political belief. They believe in one thing, so they form a little like community. This community is called party, like Democratic Party. Okay, so let me write it down. P-A-R-T-Y, especially like in the Democratic Party. Okay, so that's a political organization with a lot of people inside and they believe in the same thing. So that they're forming a party, conservative party. Okay, I know you guys are only from like grade 4, 5, or 6, so it's pretty far away from your life. But in the future, you're gonna know party. Okay, party is a very political word. So partisan, it's not party animal. Okay, that's a trap. Partisan means a supporter. Okay, so right here, okay, partisan politics in the US, meaning they're supporting some specific politics. Okay, so simply speaking, partisan means supporter. Okay, so that's number one. The first one, suffix an means a person. Let's move to a very funny one. A, B, C, D, R-I-A-N, abecedarian. A, B, C, D person. What is an A, B, C, D person? That's weird, right? So simply speaking, this is A, B, C, D. It's like a makeup word, okay? But that's a real word, abecedarian person. You can use the word to test your friends, okay? Or test your bigger brother or sisters. Do you know what is abecedarian? We learned a very cool word, abecedarian. Okay, so abecedarian from the spelling means someone who only knows the ABCD of some area of study. So who's a beginner? As a beginner, we're abecedarian. Like I am an abecedarian of politics. I'm an abecedarian of vocabulary. It means I'm a beginner. I'm pretty new. I'm pretty fresh. Okay, I only know the very basic stuff. That's called abecedarian. Still ending with the an, and that's a person. Okay, a novice, learning the rudiments of some subjects. Rudiments means very basic stuff. Okay, very like superficial, very shallow, easy parts. Okay, by the way, this is the word appeared in the real SSAT test. A novice. What is a novice? I'm trying to give you some other words to help you understand what is NOV. Okay. Anybody know what is innovation? Innovation. Yes. Or novelty. Or novel. Innovation means new stuff, right? Means creativity, okay? Means new creations. So NOV, guys, everybody, okay? Remember that? Remember this? NOV means new. A new. So a novice means a new person, a new guy, a beginner, okay? Someone who's pretty fresh in this field. That's a novice. Okay. On the other hand, yes.
The
Yes,
word
Jenna?
also looks like new.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if you see the word novel, like in some writings, okay, or in some like sentences, but novel as an adjective, we know novel is fiction, stories, right? But if they're talking about like this book is pretty novel, or this design is pretty novel, this is a novel design. What does it mean by novel design? It means the design is pretty new. Novel means new. Okay, so that's the beauty, and also that's something drive us crazy about vocabulary. It means some words, they can be nouns, also can be adjective, and they're totally different in meaning. Okay, so back to abecedarian. Abecedarian is a new person, a new guy, a novice. Okay, try it to your parents maybe. Do you know what is abecedarian? I bet they don't know. Abecedarian. It's not a really common word. Okay. So far, that's the first suffix we learned. Anybody got any questions?